Good afternoon, comadres. Welcome to kitchen series number 5 of 2026. Our guest chef is Maritere Bellas. She is Puerto Rican award-winning author, speaker, writer, podcast host, language and culture advocate. She's written 2 books, the latest being Arroz con Pollo and Apple Pie, Raising Bicultural Children, and she's got 3 bilingual children's books. She's a Walmart ambassador and has worked in campaigns with Moms Raising Mamás con Poder, Unidos USA, and Health Union, among others. She's an advisory member to the National Organization for Read Your Word. She's a founding member of HOPE, Hispanas Organized for Political Equality, and HPRA, Hispanic Public Relations Association. She was born and raised in Puerto Rico, and she's a mother of 2 adult children raised with 2 languages and 3 cultures. And tonight she's going to be making her recipe, Puerto Rican Paella, on page 93 of the cookbook. Thank you and welcome, Maritere.
Hello, nice to be here with all of you. I don't have the book in front of me, so I'm just going by how I make the paella, which I think is what I wrote in there. This was a recipe that I learned, I want to say maybe 30 years ago now. A friend of my dad's made it for a party, a family party, and I fell in love with it. I've always loved cooking. That's kind of like my thing. And over the years, I've changed things here and there, and I perfected it, and I've kind of made it my own. So I will share. This one is a sausage and shrimp paella. But you can make paella, the real Valenciana paella, it's you can put any a kind of meat, chicken, pork, sausages, and seafood all together. And but I like to make to separate it and just sometimes I do seafood only, sometimes I do sausage and chicken only, and sometimes I do sausage and shrimp. So, and that's what we're doing today.
Awesome. Okay. And if you guys have any questions, please put it in the chat and I will ask Maritere as we go along. So you go ahead and get started, Maritere, and tell us
Okay,
what
so
you're
the
doing.
first thing that I wanted to share with you is for any base, if any of you are Puerto Rican out there, we make sofrito. I learned to make it from scratch from my mom, and I use green peppers and onion. It depends on how much you want to make. Sometimes I use 2 green peppers and 2 onions and a handful of garlic. I eyeball it, so I can't tell you exactly how many. I don't think you can go wrong with an extra 1 or 2 cloves. But I make enough that I can freeze. And then when I need it, I take it out that morning and it'll be ready by the time I'm making dinner. I use it to make rice, to make beans, habichuelas, we call it habichuelas, to make garbanzo beans, any kind of stew. So that's a base that we make. And when you make it in the blender, it comes out kind of like that way. So this is one of my pots of my containers that I use, and I can freeze this because it's glass. I suggest that if you're going to freeze it in any jar that it's glass. And so that's what it looks like. I already put some already in the paella, but usually I don't know if you can see what a paella pan looks like. Uh,
Mm-hmm.
it's this one is a smaller version of it. I have a bigger version up above there, depending on how many people you're cooking for. But for tonight, this is just my husband and I eating. But this kind of pan is kind of like a medium, maybe small to medium, and you can probably feed around 6 or 8 people with this one. And all depends on how much rice you do add. So
Is it kind of like a wok? Kind of looks like a
it's
little
kind of
wok.
what, let me see. I don't think it's hot enough. It's that hot. So here, I can see what it looks.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah. And the wok tends to be deeper. This is kind of flatter, I guess.
Okay.
That would be the difference. So I use olive oil. Also, I eyeball it. If I'm gonna do like right now, I'm gonna do 2 cups of rice. So I would say maybe 4 tablespoons of the olive oil, and that's what I start with. I put the olive oil in there, let it saute a little bit, and then I add
I have a
the
quick question.
yes.
It looks like that's a Teflon pan. I've never seen a Teflon pan, paella pan.
I have no idea because it was a gift. So all I can tell you is that I've made it here before and it comes out okay. Um, I do have the real one over here. I don't know if you can see it.
Mm-hmm.
This one I bought at a Spanish store here in the Southern California area. Uh,
Is
so
the inside is the inside different from the smaller one?
it's the same. It's also flat. And
No,
it
no, the inside. It looks like it's Teflon. Is the inside Teflon?
no, it the outside of the inside of this one is the same as the outside. Just like this one too.
It's just a lot of wear. That's why it looks like it's darker, maybe. I don't know. I'm
I'm
just
not sure
asking.
what I don't know. When you go and you ask for a paella pan, they'll give you
No, I have two. They're
okay.
not, the inside is not like that. It looks like stainless steel in the inside. So I
Yeah,
see
that
that
one is
yours is
stainless.
black.
Yeah, that one is stainless steel inside, but this one was
Okay.
cooked. So I just because that one is too big for my little stove,
Yes.
so I just use this one.
Thank you.
Uh,
Maritere, is the temperature a medium or do you have it on high? What do you cook
right
it
now
on?
it's in very low because I started before you got here. So
Okay.
um, I now gonna make it a little bit on the medium to low for right now. Um, so then after I do the olive oil, I saute the sausage, and I wanted to show you that. So the sausage that I use, it's air packed. It's my favorite. I don't like the other one that is longer. This one's small. I grew up with this when it used to come in a can from Spain, and then now it's a Goya product. I don't know when it became a Goya product, but okay. So and I freeze them, and then when I need them, I take them out. So this lasts for a long time.
How many packets do you usually use if it's just you and your husband?
Right now, I use 2 of these because I
Okay.
wanted to have extra for 2 days from now, leftovers. So I
Mm-hmm.
use 2 of these.
Okay.
If you're gonna have, let's say 6 people, then you double or triple that.
Okay. And Teresa was asking if it's chorizo, and it looked like the package said chorizo.
It is chorizo, but it's not the Mexican chorizo. I just
Oh,
want
okay.
you to be aware of that. It no se desmorona. It doesn't crumble like the
Oh, okay.
Mexican. This one is hard.
Good to know.
And then after you saute the sausage, you add the sofrito, which is what and I wanted to wait until you were here to add a little bit more to here. And I usually eyeball it too. If it's 2 cups of rice, maybe 2 spoons, the big spoons of the sofrito, should be enough. And then you move it around. Okay. And yeah. And when it gets warm, like hot enough, then I add the rice to it. So you'll see that in a minute.
And that's Uncle Ben's rice? Is that what I see?
That's what I use. Some people use Mahatma or others, but I grew up with Uncle Ben, so that's what we use. So then you add the rice. I usually do it in the middle of the pan.
In your recipe in the book says 4 to 6 cups of rice. Is that what you're putting in right now?
No, I'm only doing two because there's only two of us.
Okay.
That's for a bigger party. And then you're going to move it around with the sausages and the sofrito. And so you know, you're not going to see it finish, by the way. Otherwise, we'll
Okay.
be here a couple hours. Okay.
How long does it take to make it from beginning to end?
It all depends on how many people you're cooking for. And because I did 2 cups of rice, I'm gonna do 4 cups of chicken broth, but I'm only doing 3 cups of chicken broth because the fourth cup is 1 cup of beer. Remember, I think it's there that I use beer.
Yes.
So I just do 3. And I do the beer. Some people use
Oh,
wine, if white wine. It depends on what you like.
can it be any beer or does it have to be a Puerto Rican beer?
Oh no, it could be any beer.
Okay.
Anything that you have in your fridge. It could even be the non-alcoholic beer. Okay. So after that, then you do tomato sauce. Again, I'm gonna measure it just because I'm sharing the recipe, but I eyeball it usually. So I'm gonna say I'm gonna do 2 tablespoons of the tomato sauce. And then I'm gonna do, I mentioned to you before, the saffron. Charles, is that your name, Charles? What's her name?
I don't know.
I'm at Melinda. I'm using my husband's computer because
Okay, and
there's more
Melinda,
noise in the other room.
so
That's
if you make paella, you know that the saffron comes in a
yeah,
little
a little
bottle.
container. Yeah.
Right. It's very expensive.
Yes, it is.
I only buy it for when I make it for other people,
I
but I
see.
usually use the azafrán de sazón con Goya. And I sprinkle a little bit of these, and I also do the culantro con achiote. And that takes care of the fact that I don't have the leaves that my mom used to have when I was growing up in the island. So,
Can you
yeah,
that second packet, what was it? Something con
con culantro y achiote.
achiote. Okay.
I'll send it to you later. I thought I
Okay.
included it in the recipe, no?
I don't see it in the book.
Okay.
I see 1 pinch of saffron and 1 packet of Sazón Goya de azafrán
Okay, that's
season.
fine. You could do both or
Okay.
one of each. I'm just gonna do half and half. Because like I say, I'm not making it for that many people. And lo mueves un poquito. Can you see that it has a color now? Can you see that?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay, so I'm gonna put it in medium. I have to let the rice dry a little before I put the shrimp. But remember, the shrimp cooks in like 3 minutes. So the shrimp is what you add towards the end. Same would happen with any kind of seafood that you add. Porque se
Um,
cocina muy rápido.
I have 2 questions. What kind of pan can you use if you don't have a paella pan? And then where can you buy a good paella pan?
Um, where can you buy a good paella pan? I would say I'm venturing to say that Walmart might have it. Um, I'm trying to think who else would have it here in the United States. I have to think about this, and
Okay.
I'll research it and send it to you, and you could put it when we post this.
Okay.
There is a place in California. I don't know if it's there anymore. It's been a while. Es una tienda in La Habra, California. I want to say se llama La Española. That's where I got my big pan.
In Austin, those that are in Austin, I got the paella pan. I can't. It's a cooking store. It's not Williams Sonoma. It's the other kind
Sur
at
la
the
tabla.
Domain. At the Domain, I bought there. They had different sizes. They also offered a class there, but that's where I bought my pans.
Yeah, well, Sur la Tabla was another
That
one.
was it.
Oh yeah,
Yes.
Sur la Tabla. Yeah, there used to be a store, but now it's an online store here in California. Um, but they probably have it too.
I just looked up Walmart and you can order them on Walmart and there's several that you can choose from and they'll just deliver them. And then also Amazon has some too. And some of
Yeah,
them have
that
good
was gonna be
ratings.
my next guess was I'm sure Amazon has everything these days, so I'm sure they have.
Yes.
Um, okay, so what happens now is we wait until this dries a little bit, and then because it's cooking, and then we will add the shrimp, and then I cover it with foil, and I let it sit in low for a while until it's ready. But someone asked, can you make this in a pot on a pan that is not I
Pineapple.
I would make it in, you know what a caldero is? I make it like in any kind of rice pot that you have.
Okay.
It really doesn't matter. Um, for any of you that cook rice all the time or make rice all the time, any pan would do.
So I'm surprised that when you're letting it dry like that, that you don't have a lid. Does that help without the lid? It makes it go faster?
I don't know, but this is the way my mom used to make it. I was also told never to touch it when it was boiling, so it would come granosito. So I don't
Mhm.
touch it. And anyway, all those little things that your mom teaches you that you just follow along, and that's how I do it. So, but I kind of it's when you have the big pan because it's a little bit bigger than the square of your stove. I turn to move it around so that it doesn't cook just in the middle. You
I
know
see.
what I mean?
Hmm.
So just be careful and always keep it like between three in the middle, between 4 and 2, I would say.
Okay.
Um, Especially if you have a gas one. I can't remember what we did with the electric. I think my mom would always have it between medium and low.
Okay. We had a question, if you had already added the beer, and you did, you put it in when you put the chicken broth in.
When you do the broth, you add the beer to it. Yeah. I mean, I guess you can wait and add it later, but you want all the juices to dry at the same time. So that's how I would do it.
Okay.
I always have a problem with the top of my rice being hard. And every time I've done it, and then I have to add more broth, and then it makes them mushy, and then the top is hard. So, but I've never used aluminum foil to cover it, and I don't know if it has to be boiling. Did you say it has to be boiling before you cover it, or explain that to
Yes,
me again?
yes. It has to be boiling. And see, if you see it now, I don't know how much you can see this.
No,
Let
I
me
can't.
see.
Yeah, I can
So
see. Yeah.
it's boiling right here in the middle only. So
Okay.
that's why I have to move it. But I don't want to touch it. So, Melinda, don't touch it. Maybe sometimes because I've done it, and then
Okay.
se pone mushy, or
Yeah.
Yes.
it almost looks like a risotto instead.
Yes.
What I mean?
Okay.
So and there is I've made it where the rice also is still not cooked enough and you have to add more water. You can add more water, pero no lo toques, just
Yeah.
cover it again and try it
That's
that
it.
way and see if that works.
That's the same thing with Mexican rice. You're not supposed to stir it either.
So when I move it, I go like lo pongo como al ladito, the little side, so it's not just in the middle. But that's why I usually don't make it in the stove because it's too much work.
Where would you
But I'm
make
so
it?
glad that we're doing it here for everyone.
Where would you make it if you weren't making it on the stove?
In the barbecue, on top of the barbecue.
Oh,
And
okay.
then when I was in my big house, I I had my husband went to that place in La Española. He surprised me one time, and there is a stand that you can buy and put the paella on top. So whenever we had big parties and more than 12 people or whatever, and I was making it, I would make it there. But I've gone to people's homes and we make it in the barbecue, and oftentimes it works like a gas stove. So I still have to do it's a little bit bigger, the
The
stove
base.
uh so, but yeah, it works.
Maria wants to know, so would it be better to make it in the caldero?
Yeah, it would be. It would be easier to make it in the caldero, and then do it here. Pero I don't know. There's something more fun about doing it in the pan that it's supposed to, or that the Spanish created. This is the way they used to make it, and they used to do it on top of if you go back in the history, they used to make it on top of coal. So, and would feed a lot of people. That's why it was so popular, because you add rice to it and you keep adding rice and more people can eat from it.
Can you add more vegetables, like different vegetables? Like I saw you had a green bell pepper and the onion, but could you do like,
No, this is for the sofrito. I just wanted to show it to you. I did
okay,
add there. So at the end of when the paella is done, I would do some peas on top of it, like more of a presentation thing. And then I cut up some of the roasted red peppers, and then I would put them in the middle. And then
okay.
you have the red and the green around. It looks really nice. I forgot to buy the peas, so I am so sorry. Um, but or you could just serve it the way it is. I mean, it's delicious the way that it comes
Hmm.
out. But it's more for a presentation purposes.
I'm just thinking I can see if you would add like maybe potatoes or something, if it would, no. Okay.
I wouldn't, and
Okay.
I don't know that. I guess I have to look in a recipe book for paella to see if they make a paella with potatoes. I'm not sure.
Okay. There's a question is there such a thing as vegetarian paella?
I'm sure there is. I've never made it, but I should ask my daughter-in-law, because she's a vegetarian. She probably has made it. No, she would have told me. I'm not sure. That's a good question. I will try. I will research that.
I'm gonna look it up right now that we're
Yeah, that would
talking.
be great. I
Yes.
mean, that would be the potato one that you're thinking about, make it with, I guess you can saute vegetables with the sofrito and add everything else, except for the meats and the seafood.
I see several recipes for it, so yes.
And what does it have?
Let's see. Let me just pull up one of the recipes while we're
Yeah, that would be
talking.
great.
There's olives that I see. Let's see. It says green beans, mushrooms, bell peppers, zucchini, squash, green
Wow.
peas, Canned tomatoes.
I'm sure it's delicious.
Yeah.
I'm gonna look it up.
Yeah, so there's you could probably put in whatever you like, whatever your
Okay,
favorites are.
do you see how much drier it is now? Can you see
Hmm.
that? So
Yeah.
I so I've had the shrimp. So let's see. Do you all have Trader Joe's? Do you know what Trader Joe's is?
Yes.
Trader Joe's has their own brand of shrimp that is deveined and peeled. When I don't want to spend a lot of time taking the cleaning the shrimp and all that stuff, I get their shrimp and it's frozen, so you have to like keep it out for a while. And when it defrosts, you see that it looks just like if it was if I had just bought fresh one. And it's delicious. So whoopsie, there it is. And then I do salt or adobo. We are Puerto Rico. We use the adobo Goya all the time, so that's also a staple in our kitchen. So I'm gonna do put the shrimp around because the rice is almost cooked.
So would you say that rice took about 20 minutes, más o
It takes
menos?
about 20 minutes. I mean, in general, rice takes that much time.
Maria put a vegetarian recipe in the chat, so if anybody wants to try it, there's a recipe there.
Oh, I love that. Okay. So now it's in low and I'm gonna cover it and let the shrimp cook that way. Notice that I haven't touched the rice. And because I don't have a big lid, I just use foil.
Oh, so that paella pan did not come with the lid, so you have to use the foil.
Yes, yes.
Okay.
Usually the paella pan doesn't come with a lid.
Okay.
At least I've never seen one. Very carefully not to burn yourself. And I usually leave the, okay. So it's gonna be there for a little while. I think I told you everything that I use.
How often do you make this for your family? Is this something that you guys eat a lot?
We used to. The last couple of years, it hasn't been that much. We moved to a smaller apartment and trying to figure out what to do next because our kids live in Vancouver, Washington. So I haven't made it in a while, but I do have it scheduled for a couple of times this summer. Um, we when my kids were in elementary school, I would make it a lot and it became an auction item for our fundraiser. Sometimes our pastor would come and everybody wanted to have dinner with the pastor, so I would make the paella and he would be there for the dinner. And it was fun. It's always been, they still put it up, and it goes for good money for the school. So it makes me happy that I can contribute that way for the parish. Now it's more for the parish.
And so I would think that this recipe holds a lot of good memories in your family and your kids have good memories of it growing up.
Yes, and they both love it. And yeah, it's one of those dishes that stays with you. And we've made it for holidays and for family gatherings in the summer. And I used to make it for my parents when I went back. We went every summer for like 12 years in a row when my kids were little. And my mom, she was a great cook, but she didn't love cooking like I do. So I would be the one cooking for making it for them when I was there. My dad always wanted me to make it for him, so I always did.
Nice. Well, Maria just added to the chat that her brother was the cook in the family and he made her paella every November for her birthday, which was the best gift ever.
Oh, and was it similar to this? I want her to tell me what did he use something different? I'd love to know.
He
Oh
did,
yeah.
his was more with, it was with everything. So it had the mussels and it had the shrimp and it had the sausage, the chorizo, the picante, because I like hot. So it was the chorizo picante
Oh,
with the
very
chicken.
cool.
So it had like everything. And he would
Yes.
bring me this humongous pot. I ate for like a month.
Oh,
Yep.
that's so cool. That's very cool. Yeah.
Yep. So that was every November. I knew that I was getting a paella every November.
Well,
Very
the recipe in the book has calls for all those things in this recipe. I guess you're just cutting it down today.
Yes, I did. I
Yes.
cut it down today. But
Yeah.
yeah, if anybody has any questions or I'm happy to, you can give them my phone number or send me an email and I'm happy to answer
Mhm.
or help or suggest. I'm not a chef, but I do love to cook and yeah, this and I learned how to make Greek food because my husband is Greek. And when I met him, I had no idea what Greek food was. And my mother-in-law taught me how to make, several of the dishes, and she gave me a Greek food cookbook, and that's how I learned to cook Greek. So I've enjoyed over the years. It's one of the things that my kids always knew. Oh, mom's in the kitchen. She's making something, and now when they come home, they ask for things. It's like, can you make this tonight? So they love Puerto Rican food as well. So it's nice.
So I'm sorry. What would you serve with paella? Maybe a salad or a
Yes,
crusty loaf of
I would
bread
do a
or
salad, a very simple salad. You could do as simple as in the summer, I would do I like fruit in my salads. Some people don't, but I love nectarines. Oh, I had some and I gave them away. Um, Nectarines are pears or apples with greens and pink onion, and I do like olive and olive oil and vinegar, wine vinegar dressing, very simple, or lemon. Um, you could do a Caesar salad if you want, also. And then for appetizers, if I wanted to keep the whole Spanish theme, I would do empanadas, but not the Puerto Rican empanadas, the Argentinian empanadas more because they're smaller. And I would do empanadas and a charcuterie platter with the salamis and the jamón serrano, because it's from Spain, and the cheeses, different kinds of cheeses, and the bread. Sometimes instead of crackers, I will use homemade bread. Not that I made it. I go to the bakery and make it. I wasn't a baker. So yeah, that's what I would do for appetizers. And then the dessert was very easy. I make really good flan, and I make flan from different, I do the um cream cheese flan, and I do the pumpkin flan or the regular vanilla flan. So I would just do the flan as a dessert.
I have another question in the chat. When you make fish paella, do you make each fish separately, or how would you do fish paella?
Well, they probably would take about the same time to cook. Maybe the shrimp would take a little bit longer, but again, Trader Joe's has a little a bag of, and it says in the bag, it says kind of medley, seafood medley. And those are it's super fun to use them when you have a big party, because then you don't have to get separate, the seafood separate. If I use that, then I would go to the market, the fish market, and buy the fresh shrimp. If I did the medley with, the frozen medley that I thought out. So it's a combination of things. You can saute the shrimp first, leave it there for a little bit, take it out, and then put the other shrimp. It could be in batches, if you will, in process. It takes more time to do it that way. That's why I kind of choose like 2 ingredients rather than 5, because it's just easier. But yeah, I would think that when I've made it with fresh seafood, they take about the same, 2 to 3 minutes.
Okay.
Which is I'm gonna check on the shrimp here. Yeah, it's not done yet. I have it kind of low. I can show it to you if you want. Yeah, see, some of the shrimp is done and some isn't.
Mm-hmm.
So at this point, where's Charles? No, I'm sorry. I know it's not Charles. I'm just kidding. At this point, it's all dry, so I
Okay.
can move it around a little bit. You know that,
Okay.
right? So, and it's still wet, so I don't want to move it that much, but I'm gonna move around some of the shrimp that hasn't cooked. Yeah. Because like I say, sometimes it stays in the middle, so you have to move the pan around. So I'm gonna do this again and move it the other way.
I think we've had it on there for maybe 10 minutes or so.
Yeah,
So maybe
it takes a little bit longer.
another 10 minutes.
I don't know. We'll see. I'm gonna leave this in there so it keeps it all in.
Mm-hmm.
Um,
Do you have your flame on low?
it is kind of like in 2. Let me move it to, okay. All right, I put it in 3 now.
Okay.
And I'm
So
gonna
you
move it
must
back.
have electric. You have an electric
No,
stove?
I have a gas.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it's not the greatest, but it's all I have. In fact, I think in California that's all people have. I don't I don't think I've ever seen an electric uh burner here,
Stove.
a stove here.
Well, and I prefer the gas. I prefer gas myself for when I cook.
Oh
But you
yeah,
have to be careful and keep it lower.
right. I had to get used to it because I grew up with electric. So when
Hmm.
I moved here and I started cooking, I was like, whoa. I felt like you had to keep it really low or it could really burn your stuff.
So
So,
you grew up in Puerto Rico?
mhm.
And okay. What
Yeah.
part of Puerto Rico did you grow up in?
In the south part of the island, I grew up in Ponce.
One sec.
Yeah.
Okay. Maria, is that close to where you grew up?
Can you
She
make a
went.
paella in the oven?
Hmm.
Good question. I am assuming I've never done it, but I don't see why you couldn't because this could fit in the oven and you can control the temperature, maybe start at 350 and then 15 minutes later take it out and then go back in. The problem with making it in the oven is that it's an extra step because you're going to have to take it out, take the foil out, look it up, make sure it's okay, then cover it back up. And so, you know, if you're willing to take the time, I don't see why not. I mean, my mom taught me how to make this rice that was with vegetables that was in one of those oh my God, the glass pans.
Hmm.
I forget the name of it.
Pyrex.
The Pyrex. And everything went at the same time, including the veggies and the rice and the caldo de pollo and I forget if she used tomato sauce or not. I don't remember. Anything was, I have the recipe somewhere. It was, she called it arroz a la jardinera because it was kind of like a vegetarian rice. And then I cover it with foil and I put it in there for I would say 45 minutes, 350 to 300. And when I took it out, it was almost done. So I would put it back in for like another 5 minutes or so. So yeah, I can imagine that you can make this in the oven.
Mhm. So I asked Maria if she was near Ponce, and she says Ponce es Ponce, lo demás es
It's
parking.
parking lot. Yeah, I was gonna say that, but I thought no one's gonna know what that is. So I just,
She knows.
I know. Yes.
yeah. Us Ponceñas, we all thought we were the best. We still do. No, just kidding. I still
Well,
have,
Ponce was the first capital of Puerto Rico before they moved it to San Juan.
you'll
So at the
say.
very
Oh.
beginning, it was Ponce who was the port city.
I know. And if you guys have never been there, you need to and you go to the island, you need to take a drive to Ponce. It's only an hour and 15 minutes, and they have a beautiful downtown Plaza de Ponce with I think it's the oldest Parque de Bombas,
Yes.
fire, fires, firehouse,
Station.
fire
Fire
station
station.
in the United States, I think.
Wow.
I want to say, and it's beautiful. It's not open for business. It's only for people to come in and take photos and stuff. But it's super beautiful, and there's the big cathedral there where I did my first communion. So
Yes, me too.
so anyway, it's really a nice city to visit. They have a beautiful museum. Maria, my dad used to collect art from people that he would meet, that later on became very famous, and because he loved it. So they left all the art to me. So I have to go back to the island at some point. It's in storage, and my sister-in-law and my some of my family members that are there, they got a few of them, but the most part is there, and my son wants to bring it here and put it in his house, and because they grew up going there and seeing all the art. But I really would love, there's one piece that I know that Museum of Ponce would love it. I would love to donate that to the museum on their behalf. So
Oh, they would love it.
that my parents lived, when I was 16, they moved to El Monte. Do you know what El Monte is?
El Monte. No, I don't know where that one is.
Kind of like outside Ponce going towards Juana Diaz, and
Oh, okay.
kind of like in a hilly area. And the view, my dad bought this house because of the view. The view of the La Terraza, the patio, it overlooked the ocean way back there, and you could see Coffin Island. There's a
Oh, yes.
se llama Caja de Muerto, Coffin Island, and you could see it from the house. So this one artist came and drew it one time, and he became a pretty famous. And I knew you're going to ask me the name, and I can't remember the name at the moment. But I have that piece, and I would love to donate it to the museum. So I think they would want it. And
Yes, they would love it.
I think so too. So we'll let you know how that works.
I have a question. I have a comment here from Erlinda. It says, I've learned more in this free class than the ones I've had to pay for. Thanks so much. Or Melinda.
Oh, well, you just made my day because I'm not a child. I mean, I just love to cook. Okay, chicas, I think it's ready. I'm going to turn it off. Can you see?
That looks awesome.
Can you see there? Okay.
Very pinky.
So I forgot the way I make it. I buy like frozen peas and I put them out, and I, take the water out, and then I put the peas around it. And then I cut up some roasted red peppers y los pongo en el medio, in the little, in the middle, to kind of like give it a little bit of a look. But I forgot the peas, so I'm sorry. I went to the store a couple days ago to get all my stuff, and then I forgot the peas. So anyway, but that's it. So yeah, and you can just turn the stove off, cover it again until you're ready to eat it. And now you can actually move it around if you want to because it's dry. And I can see that it's cooked. So
That
And do
looks
you
great.
serve it in the pan? You put the pan on top of the table and you serve directly from the pan, right?
yeah, we do. When I used to make it in that big thing that I was telling you about, people would come and I would serve it from there. So I never take it out of the pan and put it in a bowl or a nice bowl when I keep it there
Mhm.
and serve it from there. And it works out. And I don't know if you hold on. I serve it with a Pinot Noir. So this one happens to be decoy, but it could be any Pinot Noir that you like. Pinot Noir is usually a pretty good choice, or you could do a white wine, or you could do champagne.
Mm.
So
Nice.
that's my little thing.
Well, that was great. Do we have any other questions for her, for Maritere? Okay, well, I appreciate it. I thank you so much. And comadres, we've got one more speaker in our series. Her name is Yolanda Nava, and it is set for August 12th. So mark your calendars. Um, let's see. Barbara Salcido says, very nice. I really enjoyed it. And Ermelinda says, you could serve it with sangria too.
Yeah, that too. That too.
Hmm.
Absolutely. And it could be white sangria or red sangria.
Okay.
I was kind of
It,
I was partial to the white sangria when I would make it in the patio with other people. It's really good. So
yeah.
they're good recipes for both of those too.
And Teresa Tobin says that was great. Thank you.
Thank you all for being here and for listening to us. And I really appreciate the opportunity. And please tell Yolanda I say hi. I haven't talked to Yolanda in years.
Well,
So
you'll have to jump on the call when we
I know
get
I
in
will. I will. All right.
August 12th. Mark your calendar.
Okay.
Well, thank you, ladies. I hope you have a great night. I appreciate it. And we'll see you in August. Thank you. Good night.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye.